Welcome, this is Birendra Kumar Jha and you are watching Khabar Tah Tak. In the sequence of stories of super hit films shown on Khabar Tah Tak, the new link of a story that I have brought before you today is the story of film Udan Khatola, that is Flying Caught. This film was released in 1955 and this was the most grossing film of that year. S.U. Sunny directed this film, and the lead role in this film were played by Dilip Kumar and Nimi. Jeevan had played the role of villain, and Tuntun and many other actors had played the character role in this film. This film included many a beautiful dance scene and melodious song as well. The music director of this film was Nausad, and Lata Mangeshkar and Mohammad Rafi voiced over all the song in this film. However, almost all the 11 songs in this film were melodious, yet मुहब्बत की राहों में चलना संभल के, मुहब्बत की राहों में चलना संभल के, and ओ दूर के मुसाफिर हमको भी साथ ले रे, हमको भी साथ ले, हम रह गए अकेले। तूने जो दे दिया गम, बेमौत मर गए हम। तूने जो दे दिया गम, बेमौत मर गए हम, बेमौत मर गए। किस काम की वो दुनिया जो जिंदगी से खेले रे, हमको भी साथ ले, हम रह गए अकेले। Had received most popularity that year. Now listen to the entire story of film Udan Khatola, that is Flying Caught. The story of the film Udan Khatola begins with a storm in which Kasi's plane, played by Dilip Kumar, is destroyed and he takes refuge in a village. Soni, played by Nimi, lives in this house. Kasi dreams of a girl sitting on a flying bed and begins screaming in fear. Hearing her screams, Soni's father comes to him and starts beating him. When Kasi asks him why, he explains that by allowing him to stay there, he has lost the one who should have come here. Kasi replies, "Just tell me, I will find him and bring him back." One day, while Sony is having fun with her friends, an aeroplane passes overhead and crashes a short distance away. The pilot of this aeroplane, Kasi, falls unconscious. Sony revives him and brings her home. When Kasi regains consciousness, he questions her about his whereabouts. She doesn't say anything but gestures that she saved her. Just then, Soni's brother Hira arrives. Kasi asks him to explain that foreigners are not allowed to live here and that the women here don't speak to any foreign men. However, Sony begins to grow attracted to Kasi and Kasi to Sony. Seeing this, Sanu, played by Jeevan, who is in love with Sony, informs the reigning queen, played by Suraj Kumari, about a foreigner arriving and falling in love with a girl and demands that he be expelled from the kingdom immediately. After hearing Sanu's words, the queen asks Sanu to send Kasi to the royal court. Kashi and Sony continues to love each other. When Sonu arrives and delivers a message from the queen, despite receiving this message, Kasi refuses to go to the queen. Soni's brother tells him that he must leave. Kasi then sits off with Sony to the queen. Sony disguises herself as a male hunter and goes with Kasi to the royal court. When Kasi meets the queen, she turns her face away and throws a knife at a mannequin, hoping to trick Kasi into coming to fairness. She then tells Kasi to leave within 8 days. When Kasi mentions that the road is closed, the queen asks him where he come from. When she turns her face towards Kashi, she becomes attracted to him and asks him where he come from and what he can do for her. Kashi replies that he comes from India and can love and sing. The queen then allows him to stay. Seeing Sony and Kashi's love, Sony's brother Hira tells Kashi to leave quickly. Kashi replies that the queen has given him permission to stay. Hira then tells him to stay away from Sony. Hearing this, Sony says that she loves him and that they are soon to get married. Her brother Hira then says that she cannot do without asking her father, and he goes to talk to his father about it. After Sony's brother leaves, Kasi and Sony begins to exchange sweet words. One day, while Kasi is singing a song expressing his love for Sony, Rajrani arrives alone. Kasi interprets Kasi's love song as his love for Sony and asks him to accompany her to the royal court. Kasi is reluctant to go with her. Sony then gestures for him to go with Rajrani. Kasi then goes with Rajrani. Rajrani brings Kasi to her bedroom inside the palace and tries to various ways to persuade him to confess his love to him. But Kasi wants to confess his love to Sony, not her. Rajrani interrupts him every time, subtly revealing her love for him. While they are talking, a rustling sound is heard near the bedroom. Rajrani then throws a knife and kills him, saying that this is what happens to anyone who secretly watches over her. Then she begins to talk affectionately to Kashi. Hearing Kashi and Rajrani's affectionate conversation, Sony thinks that perhaps Kashi has also fallen in love with Rajrani. Then Sony throws a knife and kills a bird. Seeing this, Rajrani's soldiers bring Sony, who is under the control of the male hunter, to Rajrani. Rajrani sentences him to death. Kasi protests, saying that he saves his life, so Rajrani should kill him instead of Sony. Hearing this, Rajrani forgives Sony, who she thinks is a man, as per Kasi's saying, to win Kasi's love. After this, Sony and Kasi return to Sony's house and falls in love with each other. When Kasi does not go to the royal court for a few days, the queen questions Sonu about Kasi. Sonu replies that he is in love with a girl from the village. Hearing this, the queen sends a decree to Kasi through him, ordering him to leave immediately. Upon hearing this decree, Kasi comes to the royal court to meet the queen and asks her why she is trying to falsify her own decree. When she gave him permission to stay, the queen replies that foreigners are traitors, so he cannot be allowed to stay for long. Meanwhile, Sony, disguised as a man, also arrives. When the queen asks, she reveals her name is Shibu and says she will bring Kasi back every day because he is her friend. The queen then allows Kasi to stay and begins to have a loving conversation with Kasi. Meanwhile, Sony's brother Hira arrives searching for her and declares that no one can stop her from marrying Kasi. As her father has given her permission, Shibu, disguised as Soni, tells him that everything is amiss. Rajrani has fallen in love with him, even though Kashi does not want him. If Kashi married her, Rajrani would have then killed both. Sanu, searching for Sonu, arrives at Soni's house only to be spotted by Soni's brother Hira. To teach him a lesson, he disguises himself so that Sanu mistakes him for Soni, mistaking Hira for Soni. Sanu tries to make love to her, but Hira, in love, asks him to become a horse and riding him. Beats him repeatedly, he then places him on a large bamboo basket kept on the chicken coop, causing the chickens to pick at the thigh, leaving him blending. Then Hira, disguised as Soni, tells him, "My brother has come." Sanu then runs away. Just then he sees Soni approaching. Sanu tries to force himself on her, but Soni runs into his house and sleeps on his bed. Sanu, thinking another girl he loves is there, leaves. By then the girl leaves, and upon seeing him, Soni, his male form, falls in love with him. Meanwhile, Rajrani comes to meet Kasi, who lives in Soni's house, and begins to exchange romantic words with him. By then, Soni also arrives. He assures Rajrani that he will make Kasi his lover, as he is her friend. Then he takes Kasi and Rajrani on a boat out to a sea. While singing romantic song, he attempts to sink the boat, but Rajrani insists this and quick calls for the boat to be brought to shore. Arriving at the royal court with everyone, she tells Soni, also known as Shivu, that she once tried to kill her by throwing a knife at her, and now she wants to kill her by sinking the boat. Her secret is revealed. She then summons her maids and orders them to behead Soni, also known as Shivu. Upon hearing this, Kasi begs her to forgive her. She then instructs her maids to let her go. Rajrani then asks Kasi to help whip Soni. Kasi initially refuses, but when Rajrani again asks her friends to behead Soni, he agrees to whip her. Kashi's whip causes Soni to fall unconscious. Rajrani then asks Soni to return home in that condition. Kashi then arrives at Soni's house. Kashi apologizes to Soni, saying that it was necessary to save her life. Soni then embraces Kashi. Seeing this, Sanu becomes furious and complains to the queen. Kashi tells Soni that he will meet her at night and leaves for the royal court. As soon as Kasi leaves, Sanu tells Soni that he will marry him instead of Kasi, and that Kasi will not return to her from the royal court now. Soni says that he will definitely come. Sanu then asks if he will marry her if Kasi does not uh, come back. Soni, completely confident in her love, agrees. Hearing this, Sanu leaves to ensure that Kasi does not reach Soni. He instructs his guards to kill Kasi if he tries to escape from the royal court. On the night of the appointed date, Soni arrives at the meeting place without Kasi. Kasi finds no chances to escape. Restless, he begins searching for a way out. Seeing Kashi's arrival delayed, Soni jumps into the river, intending to commit suicide to prevent her marriage to Sanu. Meanwhile, Kashi from the royal court window casts a spell into the river. When he discovers Soni drowning, he rescues her and takes her to the river bank when they begin to make love. Seeing Soni and Kasi in love, Sanu informs the villagers that a foreigner is in love with a village girl. Seeing Soni and Kasi embrace, the villagers begin pelting them with some stones, determined to kill them. Just then, Soni's father, the royal priest, arrives and tells the people that they have committed a crime, but only someone who has committed no sin should stone them. Hearing this, the villagers stopped stoning them because there was no one who had never sinned. Then Soni's father brings them to the queen and tells her that if they have sinned, they must be punished, or else they must be handed over to him so that he can marry them. The queen says that whether they have sinned or not will be decided by the test of fire. A fire is then lit before the state's deity and a rope is placed above it. Sony is asked to cross the fire using the thin rope so that she falls and burns in the fire burning below. However, Sony, with faltering steps, crosses the fire using the thin rope. With this, the queen has no chances of killing Sony and Kasi. She then gives up, hands them over to Sony's father, he the priest of the state, and leaves. Sonu now plays another trick. He asks the girl he loves to go to and tell Rajrani that the foreigner Kasi has dishonored her. To win Sonu's leave, she agrees to lie. Sanu then approaches Rajrani and tells her this, but Rajrani says she has given up on Soni and Kasi's love. Sanu replies, but he hasn't given up yet and he will get Rajrani married to Kasi at any cost. He then asks Rajrani to sign a decree. The soldier brings the decree to Soni's house where Soni, Kasi, and Soni's father, the priest, are present. Showing the decree, the soldier forces Kasi to the royal court. When Soni refuses, the soldier forcibly takes Kasi to the royal court. Soni attempts to stop him, but the soldier takes her to the royal court. After Kasi leaves for the royal court, Soni becomes worried. Sanu goes there and tells her that she will never see Kasi. Soni then offers to introduce her to Kasi once. Sanu then takes her to the royal court and asks the queen to let Soni see Kasi. Hearing this, the queen tells Soni that she will be able to see Kasi in this condition. Soni agrees. The queen then asks the maid to remove the curtain. Upon removing the curtain, Soni sees Kasi being brutally beaten. The queen then declares that if Kasi is not mine, he will be no one else. So he will be killed by cutting off each of his limbs. Sanu then says that Kasi's life will be spared if Soni accepts him as her husband by wearing the garland instead of Kasi at the Swayambar. To save Kasi's life, Soni agrees. After this, the soldiers stop beating Kasi. Learning of this, Soni's father, the Rajpurohit, approaches Rajrani and tries to dissuade her from doing so. However, Rajrani declares she is willing to do anything to obtain Kasi. The priest then warns her of dire consequences and leaves. The next day, Swambar is held at the family deity's temple. Soni, holding the wandering garland in her hand, anxiously looks at Kasi and then at Sanu. To save Kasi's life, she places the garland around Sanu's neck. Rajrani is delighted to see this and is finally able to marry Kasi, and Sanu is also delighted that Soni has finally chosen him as her husband by wearing the wedding garland. But then fire erupts from the royal deity's mouth and a terrible disaster strikes. Rajrani is swept away by the storm that accompanies this disaster. Then, as the shadow of death looms over everyone present, they plead with the priest to stop the sudden storm, but the priest says he can only pray to the god He then declares that a sacrifice must be made to the god. She is sacrificed of one's life. Who is ready for this? Hearing this, the place falls silent. Kasi steps forward and offers to sacrifice himself. Seeing this, Soni offers to sacrifice herself instead. The Soni's father, the priest, sees Sanu there and asks him to sacrifice himself. So Sanu runs away. As he flees, the garland Sony had placed on him flies from his neck and lands on Kasi. Sony then asks Kasi to sing a song in her love so that she can sacrifice herself and avert the calamity that has befallen the kingdom, and even in death she can find her love. Sony then asks Kasi to sing a song in her love so that she can sacrifice herself. Kasi then begins to sing a song in Soni's love. As soon as the song ends, Soni jumps into the flooding river and takes her own life. Soni's father then says that Soni will come to take him back even after her death. Soni arrives on a flying chariot and takes her father with her. The story of the film Udan Khatola, that is the flying chariot, ends with this scene.